All right, good afternoon. Time for TV47 at 1. My name is Linda Alela, and we go straight to the stories where allowances now should not. That is a bit different a story. Mr. Director, which one do we pick? Yes, the murder trial of Albert Ojwang has entered its third day at the Kibera High Court, with the prosecution tightening its case by presenting forensic evidence reconstructing the events leading up to his death in police custody. The court is reviewing CCTV footage from Bagadi Hospital alongside testimony from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority's head of forensics, and that is Joshua Mutua, who analyzed the movements of police officers on the night Ojwang was taken to the hospital. Let's listen in.
So that we are not thrown off the bus. We can check the third as open.
It's just for cross-examination only.
And you're going to be kind enough to allow us to get dates now.
I don't know. She writes the diary, please.
Well, she seems to see that 13th, 14th December looks available.
I have kids, I have Otumishi kids, and I do not want to give adults dates. I want to preserve available dates for the children. They'll take priority, and I might have to sit in December, or probably let's see whether I can sit full during the recess in December. Monica, please give them 3 days running. Give them 3 days running this year.
Thank you.
Before we break for recess. Now, if you don't take these dates, please, you don't ask me for any other because they are not available. So,
Yes, Sheila Chelangati is following up on the proceedings and will be giving us more details later on. Court proceedings at the Nakuru Law Courts were disrupted after lawyers enforcing the Law Society of Kenya's nationwide boycott stormed the premises, accusing a judicial officer of defying the industrial action over demands for greater accountability that is within the judiciary. Now, lawyers led by LSK Nakuru Charter, that is Chairperson Wangari Mwangi, interrupted proceedings at the court, insisting that advocates across the country had resolved not to appear before court until concerns of alleged judicial misconduct are addressed. The lawyers accused the presiding magistrate of disregarding the nationwide boycott and announced plans to formally petition the Judicial Service Commission for the officer's transfer. The confrontation underscores growing tensions between the legal fraternity and the judiciary as the boycott tightens another day and enters another day, with the Law Society maintaining that its campaign is aimed at restoring integrity and public confidence in the administration of justice.
Make our lives difficult here.
You cannot make our lives difficult. No, we will chase you.
No, it's not like
don't do it like as if you were not on this side. You have been on this side and you wanted to access the other side.
Some of us were forced to come here. We never wanted to come here.
The judiciary right now, as it stands, there is a clear lack of competence, and there are systematic inefficiencies to how the judiciary is conducting itself. We are not doing a blanket blame on all the courts. We have some errant judicial officers, and it's those ones that we are saying we need to get rid of.
And once complaints are lodged by the Judicial Service to the Judicial Service Commission, they have a tendency of rushing to court and blocking investigations. They have a tendency of getting court orders because they're getting these orders from their colleagues and their friends.
Bali na kesi kuchelewa, tunao hapa kwa sasa wale mahakimu, tunao wale majaji ambao wanachukua mlungula, wanachukua ongo, alafu badala ya kuamua kesi haraka iwezekanavyo, wanalalia kesi kesi inachelewa, na hata wakati kesi imechelewa, kesi inatupwa, sio kulingana na sheria na ushahidi, lakini kwa sababu ya mlungula.
Bado mapambano, mapambano, mapambano.
Still on that, court proceedings in Mombasa were disrupted after lawyers joined the Law Society of Kenya's nationwide boycott, accusing sections of the judiciary of corruption and demanding far-reaching reforms to restore public confidence in the justice system. Speaking outside the Mombasa law courts, the advocates claimed that corruption and entrenched malpractice within the judiciary continue to undermine fair as well as timely administration of justice. They argued that the situation has eroded public trust in the courts and denied many Kenyans access to justice. The lawyers vowed to sustain the boycott until the judiciary engages them and addresses the long-standing concerns over accountability and integrity.
Shikadau wote si lazima lawyer. So LSK
country that is supposed to be democratic has to have a functioning judiciary and has to have a law society of advocates that are actually backing up the judiciary and working together towards that democracy. If either one of the two fails, it means that the country is not going the direction that it's supposed to. So we're discussing issues of corruption, we're discussing issues of non-functioning registries, we're discussing issues of CTS systems not working, the filing system not working, dates for a matter that was filed this year has been given for next year, January.
Kuna siku moja ambayo mtaitwa nyinyi muweze kupigania haki zenu kisawa ili haki ya kupata huduma za koti. Lakini leo hii ni nafasi yetu kama mawakili tukuwapigania. Wakati mwingi tunawapigania kotini, lakini kuna njia tofauti za kupigana.
Our clients are the ones who are telling us the judiciary is rotten. For us, we are representing them. Wanatuambia, why do I need to go to court, yeah, to get justice, whereas maybe the accused person ama the other party is fetching money na wanapatia ma judiciary officers. Where is the justice? Wanatuuliza kama si hivi, mbona tuje kwenye mawakili, mbona tuende kotini, situtumie rule of jungle.
And unfortunately, for those who did not heed to the call, tunawaangalia kwa macho. And we are also calling out to those judicial officers who have dismissed matters and they without regarding our request that we've stood with them before, and for today we were just asking them, can you just stand with us? You are one of us, you are advocates before you became judicial officers, but unfortunately some of them were very harsh to our advocates.
Okay, now some court proceedings across parts of the country were disrupted as well after lawyers sustained the boycott of court sessions, piling pressure on the judiciary over allegations of corruption and lack of accountability. The Law Society of Kenya President Charles Kanjama said the court boycott remains in force nationwide despite reports that some advocates have come under pressure, that is, to resume court appearances. Kanjama said the boycott is intended to push for greater accountability within the judiciary and urged advocates not to practice in today's court or participate in the proceedings. Senior counsel Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi said the legal profession had grown increasingly concerned by what he described as entrenched corruption within the judiciary, adding that the society is seeking action against judicial officers facing persistent integrity concerns. A former Law Society of Kenya President Eric Theuri said the campaign is not solely about lawyers but about protecting every Kenyan's right to a fair, transparent and accountable system of justice.
On behalf of the Law Society of Kenya, we are here to say that number one, the court boycott is going on in courts across the country. Many lawyers have heeded the call of the Law Society of Kenya to take out their cases before the courts, and we are gratified that several judges and judicial officers have respected what LSK is doing, and several of our members have done so. Number two, we are however concerned at several instances we have had where some judges, some judicial officers have declined to comply with the notice that was issued to the judiciary that lawyers will be exercising their right to boycott court under Article 37 and Article 41 of the Constitution of Kenya. we are still receiving information from our members who are being forced to proceed with matters, and some of whose matters have been taken out with prejudice.
The Senior Council Bar in its entirety, without exception, stands shoulder to shoulder with the leadership of the Law Society on this all-important subject of demanding accountability, not only in performance, but the restoration of integrity and the elimination of corruption in the administration of justice.
Kenyans hoping for swift tax relief will have to wait longer after the government announced that rival proposals on income tax cuts will first be subjected to public participation before a final decision is made. The Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi said the government had initially proposed exempting employees earning about 30,000 Kenya shillings and below from pay as you earn, that is payee. However, he said a fresh proposal was later introduced calling for 5% reduction, that is in the payee, across all income brackets. That is prompting the need for public participation before a final position is reached. But he said once Kenyans have submitted their views, the recommendations will be consolidated and presented to Parliament for consideration.
NGCDF, 100%. We have funded all the approved claims for pension, 100%. That is the economy that someone wants to tell you is not doing very well. And we have embarked. The road sector, we have paid all the pending bills, dating back some of them to 2005. We have even shouldered the burden of the Kibaki government, which everybody has been praising, has been doing very well. And Kibaki government did well. We have paid some of their pending bills, which have been pending. And now we are in the process of settling others. So this administration has done so well. I know the concern has been on the pay slip. Next month, I am embarking on public engagement on how to reduce tax burden on pay slips. Some of you thought we have shelved that idea. We haven't. The whole month of August, the reason why we are carrying out public participation is because we made a proposal, and then there were other proposals, some of them saying we should reduce pay across board by 5%. We had proposed up to 30,000, zero pay, and the rest, the next 20,000, reduced pay. But there are others with other suggestions. We want to put all these together, put them before Kenyans. And by the end of August, I'm going to go across the country. By the end of August, and we have agreed with the president, I bring back the report. We will take legislation in September so that Kenyans get some relief on their pay slips.
And now to matters health. Yes, the healthcare services at Kericho County Referral Hospital have halted to a ground. That is after striking medics walked off the job, triggering protests by residents who accused the county government of failing to resolve a long-running labor dispute. Patients were left stranded as the shutdown disrupted services at the county's main referral facility. And now angry residents staged demonstrations outside the hospital, blaming the county administration for the crisis and demanding the immediate payment of medics' dues and the resolution of their grievances. The protesters said the closure had denied patients access to essential health care, forcing many to seek treatment at other health facilities, while some emergency cases were referred elsewhere. The residents are now urging the Kericho County government to urgently engage the striking health workers and restore services before the situation worsens.
Naomba serikali yetu ikiongozwa na Dr. Mutai, tunataka within 24 hours wamalize mambo yao na madaktari. Within 24 hours tunataka hii hospitali iwe imefanya kazi. Na mambo zingine tunataka county government ya Kericho walipe madaktari wetu pesa yao. Tumesikia hawajalipa for the last 4 months. Kwa hivyo tunataka hiyo pesa ilipwe haraka iwezekanavyo.
Waziri Dr. Okwama anatuambia ati huduma inaendelea. Je, tumeingia kwa mawadi, hakuna huduma, hakuna madaktari. Na Mlikuwa unafanya ni kama gavana wetu. Ulikuwa unafanya nini? Paka deni ya miezi 6 ama miezi 7 amuchalipa wafanyikazi. What is your role? Kazi yenu ni nini?
So kulingana na vile tumejionea hapa, hakuna kazi ambayo inaendelea kwa hii hospitali. Na tunamsihi gavana aongee na madaktari, aongee na manurses, awalipe hizo salary zao.
All right, that story takes us for a quick short break. We still have lots lined up for you, so stick around.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. Ooh, yeah. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. p.m. on TV47.
I just want to be in the zone.
Nairobi, where the hustle never sleeps and neither do the scammers.
Link up, we are talking.
Welcome back. You are watching TV47 at 1. Religious leaders in Ndhiwa, Homa Bay County are calling on politicians to stop using hired guns to disrupt political rallies ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking in Ndhiwa town, members of the clergy fellowship are actually warning the rising political intolerance in undermining peace and regional development. They're urging politicians to focus on matters-based campaigns and, of course, rather than inciting violence and using hired guns to disrupt political rallies. JCC Pastor Samson Makuk is cautioning that continued disruption is derailing government projects while pressing leaders to engage young people in productive activities instead.
I want to urge fellow clergy to respect those who are in authority.
Yes.
That does not mean we compromise. Where they are wrong, we point to them their mistakes, but with dignity.
Yes.
Dini hii ya Islam inaita watu katika amani na utulivu kila sehemu. Bila amani hakuna jambo ambayo inaweza kufanyika saa yoyote mahali popote, isipokuwa ni hasara na kukosa maendeleo yale ambayo tunayatarajia pande zote.
Kama ni mambo ya siasa, siasa ni maendeleo. Unajua unaweza kuongea juu ya siasa na ujui maana chenye unasema. Politics is development. Na kama ni development, we have to use it. Ni lazima tutumie kamili jinsi sera zinasema. Kusaidia mwananchi yule ajiwezi. Kusaidia mtoto yule mdogo anaenda shule.
And on to this unfortunate piece, a suspected revenge attack has left 2 construction workers dead and another critically injured at a building site in Mugumu Drive Estate, Kiambu Town. Police say the prime suspect, a former caretaker who had recently been dismissed from the site, is on the run as detectives intensify a manhunt. Michelle Mwangi reports on that.
A quiet morning at Mugumu Drive Estate in Kiambu Town turned into a nightmare. What was supposed to be a normal day at work at this construction site ended in a horrific bloodbath. 2 caretakers lie dead and a 3rd worker is battling for survival.
The scene was confirmed that indeed 2 people had been murdered in a makeshift house and 1 had been critically injured.
The primary suspect has been identified by detectives as Moses Kigera, a former caretaker at this very site. It is alleged that Kigera was recently dismissed from his job and was replaced by one of the men he is now accused of killing.
This gentleman was dismissed from work because of indiscipline, sometimes back around 3 or 4 days. This morning he went back. He murdered 2 people, as we have been told.
Kiambu East Sub-County DCI Stephen Mutua confirmed that a survivor managed to escape the attack completely unharmed. He quickly raised the alarm, prompting the police to rush to the scene, only to discover the 2 lifeless bodies alongside the crude murder weapons left behind by the attacker.
After the analysis of the scene, we started fresh pursuit of the criminal, who still remains at large. Investigations have commenced and we are yet to arrest him.
The bodies of the deceased have been moved to the Kiambu Level 5 Hospital for post-mortem examinations. Kiambu East Police Commander Alela Hassan assures the public that they are pursuing solid leads as the hunt is fully on. Michelle Mwangi, TV47.
Kenya's ambition to reduce its dependence on imported medicines took center stage this week as diplomats from 7 nations toured one of the region's largest pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities in Athi River. The visit highlighted Kenya's urgent need to address the fact that over 80% of its medicines are still imported. And officials as well as health stakeholders emphasized that expanding local production is not just about industry growth. It is about medicine security, affordability, and consistent access for patients.
You know, currently Kenya imports nearly 80% of its pharmaceutical needs. So Square has stepped in to fill the gap. We try to scale up and see whether we can produce, at least grow the volume of drugs that are consumed in the country, which are produced locally. Sometimes it's very difficult to bring these products from outside. It takes up to 6 months. You can order now and it takes you up to 6 months, but you can imagine if the products are being produced locally, for obvious reasons.
And Jubilee Party Deputy Leader Fred Matiang'i this morning held a consultative meeting with Linda Mwananchi leaders led by Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna at his current office ahead of the movement's tour of Western Kenya this weekend. The meeting is said to have focused on strengthening coordination between Linda Mwananchi and the United Alternative Government ahead of the 2027 general election. Matiang'i said that to have emphasized the need, Matiang'i is said to have emphasized the need for greater consultation, unity of purpose, and collaborative leadership in advancing a shared vision of accountable governance, constitutionalism, and national renewal. The meeting comes as opposition leaders intensify consultations and seek to consolidate support ahead of next year's general election. Linda Mwananchi expected to embark on its Western Kenya tour this weekend.
just met with this team. I wish them well, my friend.
In Western,
and ufunge Western. Tumefunga KC.
As Kenya grapples with rising youth unemployment, diplomats have challenged young people to see themselves not as victims of circumstance but as drivers of the country's future. They called for greater investment in innovation, entrepreneurship and digital skills, that is to prepare the next generation for a rapid and rapidly changing economy. Speaking in Mombasa, outgoing Belgian Ambassador Peter Maddens urged young Kenyans to remain optimistic and continue pursuing their aspirations, describing the youth as the country's greatest asset for future development. Netherlands Ambassador Henk Becker also encouraged young people to embrace innovation, entrepreneurship and self-employment as viable pathways to economic empowerment. The calls came as stakeholders urged the government to expand innovation and entrepreneurship hubs across the country to equip young people with market-driven skills. A new digital innovation hub launched in Mombasa is expected to train more than 200 young people every day in digital skills as entrepreneurship and workplaces readiness gains momentum.
Able to watch Kenya for the last 50 years or so, and what I see is that Kenya continuously grows and becomes more dynamic, more ambitious, more creative, and it's been doing that for 50 years, and that's always thanks to the Kenyan youth. The youth in those days was the same as the youth today, ambitious and creative. And so my message to Kenyan youth is don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams.
My message would be a job creator. Create your own opportunities. They are there. You don't have to depend on somebody offering a job or doing 100 job applications. You can create your own opportunities as well.
Looking at entrepreneurship as a way of alleviating poverty. Basically helping young people to become self-sustainable young individuals in life and creating what I would call dignified jobs. So that basically it is a way for them to not only improve their own environment and their livelihoods, but also to make their region more inspirational and innovative, to create jobs.
We need to be more serious and have facilities which would facilitate their learning in what is now known as personalized learning using AI.
Please, if you're out there, you're giving up opportunities, please, 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 bet on yourself. You have something to do. Please don't just sit at home, unafikiria nini. Come out here, come meet some few people here in the co-working spaces, in our hub. A lot of people actually come here. You can come, learn a few skills if you do not have.
Kenya's national women's football team, the Harambee Starlets, are intensifying their high-performance training camp in Miramas, France. Head coach Beldino Demba's 24-player squad is utilizing this crucial financial week to acclimatize, that is, to the weather conditions similar to those they will face during the tournament in Morocco. Kenya faces a demanding test in Group A, starting with a high-stakes opening match against tournament hosts Morocco on July the 26th. This marks only the second time the Harambee Starlets have qualified for the WAFCON finals. And Mount Kenya University will once again fly Kenya's flag on the international stage after 10 of its students earned places in the national team for the 2026 Wood Bowl World Cup set for Malaysia. The students, who make up of 2/3 of the team, Kenya will be looking to inspire the nation as they compete against the world's best from July 24th to 30th. The selection not only highlights the university's growing dominance in wood ball, but also reflects the strength of Kenya's emerging talent in the sport, with hopes high for a medal-winning campaign. All right, and of course that is the match that we had for you. Thank you so much for keeping it TV47. I see you again at 4. My name is Linda Alela.